The world of celebrities is a stage where every rumor, every headline, and every whispered story has the power to travel faster than light, and few names embody this whirlwind. More than Justin Bieber, who after years of living under the microscope of fame, once again found himself in headlines when news outlets began buzzing with claims of an arrest tied to a hit and run, which immediately sparked worry, confusion, and endless conversations among fans. Yet within hours, the truth came out. Police cleared Justin of all charges, confirming that he had not been involved in any wrongdoing, and the relief that washed over his supporters was a reminder of how quickly narratives can spin out of control in the life of a star. Justin's journey has always been about resilience, from his discovery on YouTube as a young boy with a dream to his explosive rise with songs like Baby and Never Say Never. Through the controversies, the mistakes, and the lessons learned, he always managed to return with new music, fresh energy, and a stronger sense of self. And albums like Purpose and Justice revealed a more mature artist, one who turned challenges into heartfelt songs and who used his platform to support causes like mental health awareness and education charities such as Pencils of Promise, proving that fame can indeed be a tool for good. And while Justin's story captures the tension between rumor and reality, it also connects to countless other celebrities who have walked similar paths of triumph, setbacks, and comebacks, like Selena Gomez, whose journey has been filled with both highs and struggles, from Disney beginnings to a powerful music career to her openness about lupus and mental health. She transformed her vulnerabilities into strength, inspiring millions who see her as proof that one can endure hardship and still shine brightly. Or take Rihanna, who paused her music career to build Fenty Beauty and Savage X Fenty, changing the fashion and beauty industry by pushing inclusivity to the forefront. Her influence stretches far beyond the charts and into a movement that celebrates diversity and self-love. And then we think of Beyoncé, whose unmatched performances from Coachella to the Renaissance Tour not only showcase her artistry, but also her mission to uplift marginalized voices using music, film, and fashion as instruments of empowerment and resilience. And when we move from Beyoncé's legendary presence, it feels natural to flow into Taylor Swift, who has become one of the most studied and celebrated figures in modern pop culture, not only because of her chart-topping albums, but because of the way she has reclaimed her narrative after years of being underestimated and even ridiculed. From the country music darling of Fearless to the fearless businesswoman who re-recorded her masters as Taylor's versions, she showed the world that artists can take ownership of their work while still enchanting millions with heartfelt storytelling. In albums like Folklore, Evermore, and Midnights, her Eras Tour became a global cultural phenomenon, boosting local economies and proving that music is more than entertainment. It is a shared cultural heartbeat. And alongside her, you see Lady Gaga, another powerhouse whose career constantly reinvents itself, from the flamboyant theatrics of the Fame era to the stripped-down rawness of Joanne, and then her Oscar-winning performance in A Star Is Born, with Shallow capturing the emotion of millions. She has also dedicated herself to advocacy, especially with the Born This Way Foundation, focused on mental health and kindness, reminding everyone that celebrity can be a platform for healing. And then we find Billie Eilish, a generational voice, who broke into the scene with a sound unlike anything before, her whispery vocals, haunting visuals, and an honesty about body image, anxiety, and identity that resonated with young fans who felt unseen. Her rise with When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go, and Happier Than Ever brought in Grammys and global tours, while proving that vulnerability is power and authenticity is the new form of stardom. And when we think of global dominance, it is impossible to miss Ariana Grande, whose powerhouse vocals have created anthems like No Tears Left to Cry and Thank You Next, which transformed heartbreak into empowerment. She channeled pain into artistry after tragedies like the Manchester attack, turning concerts into safe spaces of healing and resilience, reminding everyone that even in the darkest times, love and unity can rise stronger. And then there is Drake, the Canadian superstar, who went from acting in Degrassi to becoming one of the most streamed artists in history, with hits like God's Plan, Hotline Bling, and One Dance. His career embodies consistency, reinvention, and connection with fans as he blends rap and R&B, while also investing in his hometown of Toronto, lifting up new talent and showing that success is not just about personal glory but community impact. And as the conversation of global music dominance grows, it is impossible to overlook the incredible rise of K-pop, which has become a worldwide cultural force, with BTS leading the way from humble beginnings in South Korea to becoming global superstars, selling out stadiums across continents and speaking at the United Nations about self-love. Their journey is proof of how authenticity, teamwork, and relentless dedication can turn 7 young men into leaders of a movement that inspires millions known as the Army BTS, has broken language barriers, showing that music is truly a universal language. And alongside them, Blackpink has redefined what it means to be a girl group with their mix of style, fierce choreography, and anthems, like How You Like That and Pink Venom. They became the first K-pop girl group to headline Coachella, proving that their reach goes far beyond Asia and into every corner of the globe. And then there is Psy, whose viral sensation Gangnam Style opened the door for global audiences to pay attention to K-pop, laying the groundwork for what would become a cultural explosion. And when we shift from Korea to Latin America, the power of music is no less stunning, with Shakira standing tall as a trailblazer from her early Spanish albums to crossover hits like Hips, Don't Lie, and Waka Waka. Her influence is both cultural and philanthropic, as she built schools in Colombia through her Barefoot Foundation, proving that global success can be channeled back into lifting communities. And then we have Jennifer Lopez, who continues to inspire with her unmatched work ethic, balancing music, film, business, and family, while dazzling fans for decades from the block to the Super Bowl halftime stage. Her career is a masterclass in longevity and reinvention, and then enters Bad Bunny, who completely redefined Latin music globally by unapologetically staying true to his roots, singing in Spanish while topping global charts, with records like Un Verano Sin Ti and headlining Coachella. His bold fashion choices and fearless individuality made him not only a musician, but a cultural icon of a new generation. And continuing through Latin stars, we find Maluma J Balvin and Karol G, who each brought their own style of reggaeton, pop, and empowerment, creating a wave of artists from Colombia and Puerto Rico that turned into a worldwide movement. And just like that, the story connects across continents, with artists reminding us that culture has no borders, only bridges. And as the spotlight shifts from global music icons to the dazzling world of Hollywood, it becomes clear that film stars carry their own powerful stories of resilience, transformation, and inspiration. And when you think about longevity, few names shine as brightly as Leonardo DiCaprio, who rose from child actor roles to unforgettable performances in Titanic, Inception, and The Revenant, which finally earned him his long-awaited Oscar. But beyond the screen, his dedication to environmental activism has made him a voice for the planet, creating the Leonardo DiCaprio Foundation to fund projects tackling climate change, wildlife protection, and indigenous rights, reminding us that influence is most meaningful when it is used to create positive change. And then comes Zendaya, who emerged from Disney beginnings to become an Emmy award-winning actress for Euphoria and a true fashion icon. Her ability to inspire young audiences while using her platform to advocate for diversity, inclusion, and authenticity has made her one of the most admired stars of her generation. And then we look at Robert Downey Jr., whose journey from struggles and setbacks to his legendary role as Iron Man is one of the most compelling comeback stories in Hollywood, proving that redemption and resilience can not only save a career but inspire millions worldwide. His story intertwines with Marvel's cinematic universe, which itself became a cultural juggernaut, uniting fans across the world and redefining blockbuster entertainment. And then there is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who went from professional wrestling to becoming one of the highest-paid actors in Hollywood with his signature charisma, humor, and unstoppable work ethic. But what truly defines him is his genuine connection with fans, his motivational words on social media, and his dedication to family and philanthropy. He shows that strength is not just about physical power, but about lifting others. And when we speak of powerful women in film and beyond, we cannot ignore Angelina Jolie, whose award-winning acting career sits alongside her remarkable humanitarian work as a UN ambassador, advocating for refugees, children, and education. Her life embodies the balance of art and purpose. And then comes Meryl Streep, who has long been hailed as one of the greatest actresses of all time, with her versatility and depth, reminding us that true artistry transcends trends. Her humility and ability to continually reinvent herself stand as a lesson for every generation. And speaking of reinvention, we must mention Will Smith, who, despite personal controversies, has carved a career filled with blockbuster films, Grammy-winning music, and inspirational moments. His journey shows both the highs and the human challenges of fame. And then Tom Holland, who stepped into the role of Spider-Man and quickly captured hearts worldwide with his youthful charm, humility, and playful interactions with fans, proving that relatability is one of the most powerful qualities a celebrity can have. And through each of these Hollywood icons, we see a common theme that beyond the glitz and glamour, their greatest power lies in their humanity, their willingness to share struggles, triumphs, and lessons with the world. And While Hollywood captivates audiences with stories brought to life on the big screen, the world of sports delivers equally powerful narratives written on the fields, courts, and arenas of the globe. And when we begin with football, no names shine brighter than Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi. Two athletes whose rivalry has defined a generation of sports fans, with Ronaldo representing discipline, athleticism, and sheer willpower, transforming himself from a skinny boy in Madeira, Portugal, into a global icon, and Messi embodying natural genius, skill, and artistry, rising from humble beginnings in Rosario, Argentina, to becoming one of the greatest players the world has ever seen. Their careers not only symbolize excellence, but also demonstrate how passion and perseverance can inspire billions. And as both players use their platforms for philanthropy, from hospitals to education programs, their impact stretches far beyond the pitch. And then we look at Serena Williams, whose dominance in tennis is nothing short of legendary, with 23 Grand Slam titles. She shattered barriers, proving that strength, beauty, and motherhood can coexist in the most powerful ways. Her activism for gender equality and representation for women of color continues to inspire generations, and alongside her, Venus Williams, who paved the way as a trailblazer, also reshaped the sport, ensuring that women athletes were seen and heard on and off the court. And then comes LeBron James, who not only defined modern basketball with his unmatched versatility and leadership, but also became a role model beyond sports, founding the I Promise School in Ohio for underprivileged children, showing that true greatness is measured not only by trophies, but by how much you give back to others. And when you think of inspirational athletes, you cannot overlook Muhammad Ali, whose legacy as the greatest boxer of all time was matched only by his courage to stand for justice, civil rights, and humanity, making him a timeless icon, whose influence resonates to this day. And then comes Usain Bolt, the fastest man alive, whose charisma, smile, and unmatched sprinting achievements lit up the Olympics, inspiring athletes everywhere to believe that limits are only illusions. And when the focus turns to modern heroes like Naomi Osaka and Simone Biles, their courage to prioritize mental health on the biggest stages opened global conversations that reminded fans that even the strongest champions are human and deserve care and compassion. And then, of course, we have David Beckham, whose career and influence stretched beyond football, blending sport, fashion, and philanthropy, making him a household name worldwide while continuing his work with UNICEF to change lives of children. And it is through these sporting legends that we are reminded that the beauty of celebrity influence lies not only in records, medals, or championships, but in the courage to inspire, uplift, and give hope to millions. And as the spotlight shifts from sports arenas to the runways, studios, and design houses of the world, the power of fashion and style emerges as one of the strongest ways celebrities connect with their fans, because clothing and image often become an extension of their art and their voice, and no one has embraced this more boldly than Rihanna, who not only dominated the music charts with unforgettable hits, but also built a fashion and beauty empire through Fenty Beauty and Savage X Fenty brands that transformed the industry by celebrating inclusivity, diversity, and authenticity, giving people of every shade, shape, and background the confidence to feel seen and beautiful. And then comes Beyoncé, whose artistry transcends music to embody empowerment and elegance through her Ivy Park brand and her carefully curated visuals. She redefined how a celebrity can merge music, fashion, and business, while also using her influence to uplift Black culture and women around the world. And then Kanye West, who, despite controversies, left an undeniable mark on fashion, with Yeezy sneakers becoming cultural staples, blending streetwear and high fashion in ways that changed the industry forever. His story shows both the brilliance and complexity of creative minds, and speaking of visionaries we cannot forget Virgil Abloh, who rose to become the artistic director of Louis Vuitton menswear, while also running his brand Off-White. His groundbreaking designs blurred the line between street culture and luxury fashion, inspiring a new generation to dream big. And then there is Zendaya once again, who continually makes headlines with her bold fashion statements on red carpets, showing that style can be both expressive and revolutionary. And when we move into the modeling, world names like Gigi Hadid, Bella Hadid, Kendall Jenner, and Cara Delevingne remind us how modeling has evolved into a platform for voices where individuality and activism are just as important as beauty and presence. And then we look at Kim Kardashian, who built Skims into a global brand, reshaping conversations around body positivity, shapewear, and the blending of fashion with social media influence. Her empire demonstrates the power of combining personal branding with entrepreneurial vision, And on the international stage, designers like Donatella Versace, Giorgio Armani, and Alexander McQueen built legacies that merged creativity with culture-making fashion, not only about clothing, but about storytelling and identity. And then we have Pharrell Williams, who transcended his role as a music producer to become a global fashion leader, and eventually the menswear creative director at Louis Vuitton, showing how artistry can transcend mediums and when all these voices come together. The message is clear that fashion is more than fabric. It is a language of confidence, rebellion, identity, and empowerment.